And whenever you're ready, Hannah, you may begin.
Imagine that your family doesn't have enough money to send you to college, but you work really hard in school and to get good grades so that you can get an academic scholarship so you can still go to college without student loans. However, you could maybe not get that scholarship because possibly that money could be going toward an athletic scholarship. The NCAA should raise academic requirements for athletes that they must have a certain grade point average before being accepted to college and being offered an athletic scholarship. These students who are offered a scholarship without good grades could struggle in school later. Other students who need financial aid or academic scholarships could need this money, and colleges could save millions by not having to hire academic advisors and tutors to help these students be eligible for the athletic season. So some of these students could struggle later in school. As Gerald Gurney, who is a professor at the University of Oklahoma in Ethics of Athletics, and who wrote for the Chronicle of Higher Education, said in paragraph 2 of his article, they might not have the skills of normal students if they weren't as prepared in high school. Also, some, as he says in paragraph 5, could even result to academic dishonesty such as cheating or lying just to make sure that they're eligible for the season or postseason. If you look at your handout, and look in the Division I column, this applies to Division I, 2, and 3 schools. However, in this speech, I will be focusing on Division I schools. It says that in 2012, the graduation rate was only 81% out of the student athletes. However, if, for example, a student who could be eligible for an academic scholarship went, they could possibly graduate at a higher rate. Okay, you can put your handouts away now, sorry. Okay. However, students who did well in high school could have less trouble with their classes in college, and they also might need this money for scholarships later. Students who need scholarships could need scholarships and financial aid with this money that they're using for athletic scholarships. Tuition for a lot of Division I schools is very high in the thousands. For example, at Auburn University, according to their Student Financial Services page on their website, the tuition for a resident student is about $10,276 a year, and for a non-resident student is about $30,828 a year. At Missouri University, as it says on their undergraduate admissions page, the resident tuition is $10,584 a year, and the non-resident tuition is $25,200 a year. Also at the University of Iowa, on their cost and admissions page, it says that it is $8,104 a year for residents and $27,890 a year for non-residents. This only includes the tuition, not books, room and board, and all the other costs that it entails. Again, from ncaa.org, it says that 53% of all athletes that play in college receive financial aid of some kind. This can include tuition, as I just mentioned, those facts, boarding, which is even more money, and meals as well, or even money in other areas. So this could be thousands and thousands of dollars a year just for one student, not to mention, as I said in your handout, the hundreds of thousands of students that get athletic scholarships each year. Students who need the financial aid and academic scholarships could also possibly find more money going towards their issues if there wasn't so much money going towards academic aides and tutors. So a lot of colleges need to hire tutors and academic advisors to help the athletes be eligible to keep playing. As Brian Toperick, who is a sports writer, said in paragraph 3 of his article, with the new rule to be phased in, teams must exceed an APR of 930, averaged over 4 years, which represents 50% graduation rate, to play in postseason. Basically, with this, the APR is an average of their grades and test scores. So this means that they need to be hitting a pretty high GPA, which if you didn't get that GPA or get those good grades in high school, it can be very challenging for them to reach these grades in college. As O'Shaughnessy says in his article in paragraph 2, he's also a sports writer for CNN. Athletes in some sports are spending more time in uniform than they are attending classes and studying. Yes, it is very challenging for athletes to keep up with their grades because of all the hard practice that they go to, but if they were more prepared for college, maybe they wouldn't have as hard a time keeping up those grades because they already have those skills so they could manage their time well. At Gurney's college, he says that over $2 million a year is spent on these tutors. The NCAA, they need to raise the academic requirements with a new policy, creating less money going towards athletic scholarships when they maybe don't deserve it. This could be a new education policy that they could instill, and if they don't do this, universities could lose millions each year like they already do right now. Okay. So, in conclusion, the NCAA should raise academic requirements for athletes before they accepted to college and given an athletic scholarship. This is because these students could struggle in their classes later. Others who might need this money for financial aid or academic scholarships could be at a disadvantage, and universities could save millions each year by not having to hire academic advisors and tutors to help these students. Now that you've heard about this problem, spread the word through social media, writing letters to the NCAA, or even emailing them. At the bottom of your handout, there's a website that they specifically say to go to for questions or anything, and you can contact them through the NCAA website. Because as Gurney says, for every time that a college president caves to a coach's appeal to admit a woefully unprepared athletic phenom, holding winning aspirations of the coach over well-being of student who would be a better fit at another institution, that college suffers an irreparable blow.
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you. We do have about 2 or 3 minutes left, so let's go ahead and pose our questions for Hannah, please.
So my mom teaches at University of Nebraska, and she has a lot of Huskers in her class who like nutrition, a lot of them are physical therapy, and she knows that their guides or their helpers purposely put them in easy classes so they'll get good grades. Do you think they should also be forced to be in more like rigorous classes and not just be in?
There was, in part of my research, I believe it was with Gurney's article, he talked about that and said that they're just going through on easy majors because they're trying to get to the pros or whatever. The problem is that if they really aren't prepared for even the easy majors, could they really go to the hard majors? So maybe with this rule, it could help them like be able to do harder stuff, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And also, again, they do have so much practice that it is hard to go to a harder major, but possibly like they could be, they don't have to declare a major until the end of their sophomore year normally, and so possibly if they're like looking at how much they're actually playing and like gauging like if they are going to go pro, maybe they could make a decision that way with their academic advisors. Yes.
Why did you choose this topic?
I chose it because as a junior, I've been looking a lot at college and college tuition and what scholarships I can get, and it was very surprising to me how much of the university's scholarship money, because they don't have a lot, goes towards athletics instead of academics or financial aid.
Anybody else? No other questions? All right, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you very much, Hannah.